Hey everybody, One-Weasm here. It is now Sunday, January 18th, 2015, 3:37 in the morning, and what else would I be doing aside from upgrading Skylanders? So, the bad news first, Jawbreaker is another fairly difficult character to document. I'm thinking things will get particularly crazy with his upgrade pass. That said, my intent when I break these videos down and do the base, path 1 and then path 2 all standalone videos, is not to have each video be 30 minutes, it's to have each video be like 10 minutes. We thoroughly cover everything, you have a firm understanding of what the upgrade is, the attack damage it does, and then you can apply the knowledge from the base upgrades to the playstyle you have or desire with that character and take the appropriate path. It doesn't always work out that well because things are difficult to document. Because of that, you don't know this because I haven't told you, but I just took Legendary Jawbreaker through the base upgrade so I could have them documented. I went through I'm very particular about this. If you do something, you need to do it right. And as such, we can just kind of take a look at Jawbreaker as is. Now, Jawbreaker, he's pretty one-dimensional box stock. That's not a bad thing. He kind of reminds me of Trigger Happy in the sense that his primary attack is just so rapid fire, as you can see there, especially for a Trap Master. That's pretty quick. And more importantly, it doesn't do insane damage, but it's not really low. It's kind of like that mid-range. And when you consider and factor in how quick you can fire them off, this 38 to 57, I mean, it becomes pretty dadgum potent, at least in my opinion. So on the spreadsheet, I've got 38 to 57, and you can do rapid hits with it. Secondary attack, nothing really to it. Basically, it's Robo Rage mode. If you note, you got 5 seconds. If you pay attention right there, the gears, kind of the spinal column area behind the head, neck, whatever you would call that in Robo anatomy. When we press B, you can see the little orb there, and it kind of gets smaller, and then it blows out. Essentially, this does nothing on its own. That said, what you do get when you enter Robo Rage mode, you move faster, and that's the big deal. And then of course the other thing is you do more damage. However, it does have some effect, and that effect at the very beginning when you initiate it, and at the very end it actually does do damage. That damage number is 66 to 99. As I mentioned, it lasts about 5 seconds. Let me go ahead and if we stay in point blank range, there's a 66. And upon termination, you saw the second 66. Obviously, half of that's 33, so 99 is our crit on that. And basically, though, you're probably thinking, oh, what about the punches? Well, this is where I say he's kind of hard to document because you just get so many numbers, and particularly later on. But 3857, again, is his box stock primary. When we go into Robo Rage, he does a very strange thing. You probably saw a lot of weird numbers, and that's because he does 50 to 75, and you think, oh, well, that's a nice little jump. But sometimes he'll throw out 100, and that's what kept throwing me off. I thought, where is that number coming from? I messed with it and messed with it and messed with it, and finally I did see 150. So apparently in Robo Rage mode, he either throws a punch that's 50 to 75 on the critical side, or he throws a punch that's 100 to 150 on the critical side. Obviously the numbers add up. It's just a weird deal because you see the 50, then there's that random 100. And I thought, okay, maybe they're just doing bonus damage somehow. That's what I was factoring it in. And finally, like in the 10th minute, I saw the 150 critical hit. And so, I don't know why. I guess sometimes you just get extra lucky. And so instead of doing 50 to 75, you jump up and you're doing 100. And if you get a critical on that lucky hit, it's 150. So, that kind of takes you through the box stock. We've not bought anything. That's what we're going to do now. Funky math, I think I have 13 wing sapphires, so keep that in mind on all these prices. Ragin' Robo Rage, that's kind of a strange one. 370 is the price with our discount. Robo Rage mode lasts even longer. This one's actually simple enough, and I say that because it has the exact same damage. There's no bonus at all in any way, shape, or form. The only bonus that is now, instead of 5 seconds start to finish, it gets about 9 seconds. You can kind of see the little orb was a little bit bigger. and you can tell it's obviously longer. And then again, you saw the 66, so same thing, no increase in damage, but you basically double, roughly double your time in Robo Rage mode, so kind of significant on that front. Let me, before we do that, just because it's easiest to do it now before we get into crazy things, he's not super slow. I think the way he's animated makes him seem slower than he is. He's actually fairly nimble, but when I go into Robo Rage mode, this guy will flat out fly. You can see he slows down there as it kind of winds down. That's kind of a telltale sign it's about to happen. You can't instantly go back into Robo Rage mode, but 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, basically 2 seconds, you know, so it's not the end of the world. And since he does slow down if you're on the move because you're low on health or you're trying to set something up, you kind of get the tip off in that manner. So, I'm pushing Nintendo A, which is B on the Xbox, which is back out, which is not what we want to do. Again, I wish I could just like customize the buttons on this controller to Nintendo theme, and I would be home free. Anyway, Spark Shock. This is his tertiary attack. I was kind of interested in this one. Press Y to punch the ground and release a wave of electric sparks. Cost is going to be 518. We'll go ahead and grab that. This one is simple at the beginning, and then it gets kind of crazy. So, you'll see what I mean. Alright, if we just do the basics here, which that's what we want to do, you have to be pretty dadgum close. I thought this would have a really good range on it, and it kind of doesn't. You have to be right up there. So you're going to do 55 to 82 on the actual punch itself, and then what you're seeing, all those 20s, you will occasionally see a 30 on the critical hit side. That is the sparks that come out when you do that. They last approximately 4 seconds. So we're doing 55 to 82 and 20 to 30 on the sparks with 4 seconds. However, he's got a mode, if you will, a toggle, kind of like a gear shift type thing. So we're going to press the B button, and now when I press the tertiary attack, he does that crazy spin right there. If you see the 66 or 99 in there, that still applies whenever you start or terminate Robo Rage mode. But that 237 on the spin move, which they don't even mention that in the upgrade, I don't know why, that's kind of a big deal. It becomes 356 if you get a critical hit, and the sparks, instead of lasting for about 4 seconds like you'll see here, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, roughly 4, you know, everything's kind of ballpark. That's a pretty cool crow right there. Just kind of noticed that there in our middle left-hand sidebar by the frog. Let's go. Anyway, no one cares. Alright, what I want to do now, roughly 4 seconds there. However, if you're in Robo Rage mode, we do the spin. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6. Roughly 7. I didn't really count that fast, but it does increase the time on the sparks, at least in my opinion. But that is that. That is where we're at with the tertiary there, phase 1 and 2 of it. Now we get alternating current. Punching in Robo Rage mode shocks enemies, doing extra damage over time. So we're going to go ahead and grab this. Now this one is pretty crazy. I'm just going to go ahead and read my spreadsheet to you. The punch themselves do the same damage, which is great. However, whenever you punch someone now, you're going to have a spark. So let me see. No, I'll tell you first. There's 15 hits from the spark. So you're going to punch and do that damage, and then the spark comes out, and it's basically like you've electrocuted the enemy, is the best way for me to describe this. And you're going to do 15 rounds of damage. The first 10 rounds seem to be 13 to 19, and the last 5 are roughly 10 to 15. Sometimes I've counted 11 and 4, sometimes I've gotten 9 and 6. I split the middle. 10 and 5 makes sense to me. So it's actually a pretty potent little package. You know, essentially, if you've got like some tough enemies in Nightmare mode, you could punch this one, punch that one, punch this one, kind of retreat in Robo Rage mode, you know, sped up a little bit, and then while those guys pursue you, they're going to be taking, I mean, 130 plus 50, 180 plus damage residually as they trail you. So that's pretty neat. I'll showcase it to you now. Alright, so we did buy it, didn't we? Okay, so you have to be in Robo. Alright, so there you can kind of see the 13 and the 19. When we get to 10, you're going to transition and do 10 to 15. So again, Robo Rage mode, we do the punch, it initiates it, and again you're looking at 13 to 19 10 times, and then 10 to 15 5 times. So take my word for it, it's very complicated, but that's just kind of how it works, and we will call it good there. So yes, we are, and I was going to push the B button again because that's the Nintendo A. Heavy hands, Traptanium punches do more damage. This is a straightforward stuff that I love. The price for our 13 wing sapphires, $8.88. We're going to go ahead and grab that. I honestly don't know yet what I'm going to do. I really don't. That's something that boggles my mind at this point in time. Anyway, final base upgrade, heavy hands, Traptanium punches do more damage. Box stock, pressing the X button, we're doing 38 to 57. Now we're going to do 53 to 79. If I start rapid firing, you can see in there. Well, we had two 79s early on, and then we didn't when I was bragging about it. However, in Rage mode, and this gets insanely hard to document just because you can't see anything. You have to realize, whenever I initiate this thing, we're going to start cranking out the 15, electrocution instances, or whatever you want to call them, at 13 to 19 and 10 to 15. And so I'm pretty sure it's 69 to 139. Actually, I know it is, because when you come in, you can actually kind of make sense of that. So, and it's one of those strange things because, 68 doubled, and then 70 doubled is 140, and so 69 doubled is 138, but apparently it's 69 and a half on this hit, and then it rounds up to 139. It usually doesn't round up, this one does. It's one strange little deal like that. So anyway, we're gonna come in right here again, 53 79 standard. That worked out well. Now I'm going to go into Robo Rage mode. You will see 69 to 139 amidst a whole bunch of other numbers. You actually can kind of see them there. I don't know where that 209. Okay, that's going to be our crazy other number, which I don't have documented. So 104 to 209 is going to be our other punch. So let me get that one added in, which is, I forgot that there were two different punches, And again, that's the same thing. That should be 208, and somehow there's like a half on that lucky punch. So I think that should make sense to you. If you don't understand it, check out the spreadsheet. That should walk you through the entire thing. But he's fairly straightforward. There's just a lot of numbers, and then you've got like option A or option B when you're in Robo Rage mode. So that said, this is Jawbreaker. These are his base upgrades. Again, if you take that link at the top of the video description box, you can either go to my personal site or you can go to the Skylander Club forum. It'll take you straight to the link. You'll have this video, you'll have high voltage, you'll have Out-Rage-Ous, and you'll have my exclusive spreadsheet where you can see all these attack damage numbers I talk about and type while we record. And of course, once there, that should help you make a decision for your Jawbreaker or legendary Jawbreaker. Similarly, if you just have one figure, maybe legendary Jawbreaker, you took high voltage, you're curious about Out-Rage-Ous, you can check that video out, compare and contrast, see if you took the right path for your playstyle. And of course, then most of the time I will include my own synopsis there at the end. So be sure to check that out. My personal site, oneofweezem.com, Skylander Club forum, little site I set up, skylanderclub.com. Check that out. If you like what you see there, sign up. We would absolutely love to have you. That said, if you have not subscribed, make sure you do that. Plenty more upgrade videos on the way, as well as Skylanders Trap Team Villainography. You can follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Once again, for myself and Jawbreaker, I've got to figure out which path I want to take with which character, and once I've done that, we will be back for the upgrade paths.